Great desu yo, koitsu wa. Welcome to my review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable, Episode 2. And I gotta say, this episode was, it was quite something. Now, this week, we got ourselves a new opening and ending, but I'm gonna talk about that later. But for now, the episode. The episode begins with Angelo arriving disguised as the milkman at the Higashikata residence. His original plan was to have his stand infiltrates the house, which we learned that its name is Aqua Necklace, having to stand inside one of the milk bottles when he delivers it, and at the off chance of either Josuke or Tomoko drinking from one of the milk bottles and possessing either one of them. Unfortunately, that plan backfired on him since Tomoko has good eyes and notices that one of the seals from the milk bottle caps was broken. So she exchanged that for a new one, and of course Angelo had to play along, not blowing his cover. So he had to come up with another plan. And also, according to Tomoko, there was a neighbor who lets his dog poop and doesn't pick it up after it's done, which pisses off not only Tomoko but also Angelo when he stepped on the dog poop, who, by the way, stumbles upon the guy whose dog, which I believe is a bulldog, was about to take another poop, and seeing this really angered Angelo to the point where he just grabbed the dog, bites off a chunk of its face off, and then grabs the dog owner's head, spitting out the blood along with his stand inside the guy's mouth, and then having his stand destroy his head from the inside, killing him. What the actual fuck, Angelo? Yeah. Moral of the story, kids. Pick up your dog after it's done pooping. Otherwise, some deranged serial killer is gonna murder you. Oh, God. Now, yes, this scene was censored, but it was still pretty gruesome to watch and very surprising, especially with Aqua Necklace's fists, like, emerging out of the guy's ears, and then having the stand itself, like, emerge out of his mouth, killing him. I mean, okay, he didn't deserve to die like that, sure. I mean, he did not pick up the dog's poop and all, but I mean, like, come on. Well, wait, I forgot. This is a deranged serial killer I'm talking about here. So, Angelo has a stand to infiltrate the Higashikata residence by going through a hose pipe through the water pipes inside the kitchen sink where Tomoko was making coffee. Meanwhile, Josuke was still talking to Jotaro about what happened to him the other day. He was gonna go over to Josuke's house, but Josuke was against the idea at first because Tomoko is still in love with Joseph, and things would get really awkward if she and Jotaro met for the first time. And not only that, but whenever Tomoko thinks about Joseph, she starts to cry, which is actually pretty sad, but it makes me really want to know how this affair started in the first place, you know? I mean, like, did Tomoko know that Joseph was married? Like, what the hell? I mean, is that ever going to be explained in the manga, or at least in the anime? Anyway, it was already too late since Aqua Necklace already was inside Tomoko's mouth. But Josuke grabs one of the vials, empties it, and then uses his stand, Crazy Diamond, to punch through his mother's stomach, which is really brutal, but understandable. And then with the vial in its hand, breaks it, and uses its fixing ability to not only repair his mother, but also the vial, trapping Aqua Necklace inside, capturing Angelo's stand. And this happened in an instant because Tomoko had like no idea what happened to her. Now that Angelo's stand was captured, Jotaro decides to go to Josuke's house either way, and Josuke was going to wait until he arrives. Ryohei, which is actually Josuke's grandfather's name in the manga, I believe it was not mentioned in the anime. He arrives after a night shift. Angelo, spying this, while he was trying to figure out a way to get his stand out of the vial, realized that Ryohei was one of the police officers that arrested him back when he was 12 years old when he committed that very first crime. Now, with Ryohei, he loves to mess and screw with his grandson, always trying to scare him, even going as far as to like point a gun at his head, which is actually a fake gun, but still, he just really loves to scare the crap out of his grandson, which is really funny to him. But Josuke is really irritated by this. But you know what, despite that, you can tell that they have a nice relationship. And Josuke even respects his grandfather since, you know, this guy is a cop for like 35 years, I believe. And when he heard about the murders, knowing that this was connected to Angelo, he can tell that someone, it might be Angelo, is nearby. And he will always try to protect his city no matter what. He always does his very best, which is actually something Josuke really respects. Now, he only turns away from the vial for just a second when Jotaro was outside. And Aqua Necklace apparently can transform into any type of liquid, whether it be water, milk, or even alcohol, as it transforms into brandy, Ryohei's favorite drink. And sadly, this is going to be his very last one, because when Josuke turns back, he sees his grandfather on the ground, blood coming out from his eyes, mouth, ears, eyes rolled back. And then Aqua Necklace then rubs it in Josuke's face, bragging about it. And this only pissed him off to the point where he summons Crazy Diamond to punch it multiple times. But Aqua Necklace being a liquid type stand, it can't be hurt physically just by physical punches alone. So Aqua Necklace escapes the house, Josuke using a stand to heal his grandfather, trying to revive him. But we learn that there is certain limitations to his stand. While it can heal wounds and repair objects, he cannot bring the dead back to life. If the fatal wound has already caused the person to die, even if the wound is healed, the person can't be revived. So Josuke cannot bring his grandfather back to life. There is no stand out there that can bring back the dead. Josuke, really upset over this, then gains this resolve. Vows, making a promise that in his grandfather's place, that he will protect the town, Morio, and his mother. So with that being said, Ryohei dies, the funeral is held, Tomoko goes to a relative's place, and it's only Josuke and Jotaro inside the house planning a way to capture Angelo. Now, they couldn't use the bathroom, they had to close off all the water pipes, and they could only eat or drink from any food, liquid, water, whichever, if it's either in a can or in a bottle. Now, in that scene, we actually get to learn a little bit more about Crazy Diamond's limitations. It can heal other people's wounds, but it can't heal the stand user itself, which means that if Aqua Necklace gets a chance to go inside him, it's pretty much game over for him. Meanwhile, outside, Angelo was spying on them on top of a tree, waiting for a chance to strike, which was 3 days later. I'm not kidding. Angelo was up in that tree 3 days straight. Josuke and Jotaro were inside the house for 3 days straight. I don't know if Josuke had to go to school or he had to skip school for 3 days straight, but that's what pretty much happened, really. Now, it starts to rain, and it turns out that was when Angelo decides to strike, because with Aqua Necklace, it can move more freely whenever there's more water or more liquid. And now that there was rain, Aqua Necklace can move more freely outside, trapping both Jotaro and Josuke inside the house. Angelo's stand did appear behind Jotaro, and he was trying to get inside his head, but Jotaro uses Star Platinum to punch Aqua Necklace away from him, but he was still able to get inside the house. And while he was inside, he reopened the water pipes, opening all the faucets from the sinks, even turning on the stove, boiling all that water, which, by the way, I'm really surprised that there was a kettle and a pot of boiling water still there. Or maybe Aqua Necklace did this, I don't know. But not only did he do that, but he also created holes from the roof, causing the ceilings to leak water, so they couldn't escape outside, let alone upstairs. Not only that, but apparently Aqua Necklace can not only transform into any type of liquid, but it can also transform to any state of liquid. It could be a liquid in a liquid form or liquid in a gas form, evaporated liquid. Hell, it could probably become frozen liquid if it could, but I don't think it showed in the anime. Now, even though they were trapped, Josuke was actually excited. He wasn't laughing, really, because he knows that Angelo is nearby, so he thought this was really great because he could finally avenge the death of his grandfather. Now, while they were trapped, they had to use their stands to get Aqua Necklace away from them. You even get to see Star Platinum in action, albeit a bit briefly. So with no escape route, Josuke creates one by having Crazy Diamond punch a hole through a nearby wall going to the next room, repairing the wall, being safe inside a room where there is no moisture whatsoever. Unfortunately, there was a humidifier there. Where the fuck did the humidifier come from? I don't know. Maybe Angelo planted it there, because Angelo was actually one step ahead of them and knew there was a humidifier there. His stand was able to get inside Josuke. Seriously, who put the humidifier there? Really? Anyway, despite that, Josuke being very resourceful and with quick thinking, was able to trap Aqua Necklace again, this time in a rubber glove. Now apparently beforehand, Josuke shredded this rubber glove and swallowed the pieces. He then had his stand like repair the rubber glove, trapping Aqua Necklace, and then pulling the glove out of his throat. It was really nasty, I'm not gonna lie, but then again, we saw a dog getting killed, which by the way makes that the 7th dog death in JoJo. It could, or it was 8th, 7th or 8th, either one. It was still very smart, so again, kudos to Josuke. Crazy Diamond then shakes the rubber glove, sends Angelo flying out of the tree and then slamming to the ground, which was really funny. They managed to corner him at a nearby rock, and Jotaro decides to give the honors to Josuke to finish him off. However, Angelo, as a last-ditch effort, just points at Josuke and says, "Hey, just because I'm a convicted criminal by the law doesn't mean you have the right to judge me. I mean, if you kill me, you're no better than me. You're gonna be tainted just like me." Fuck off, Angelo. Just fuck off. Luckily, Josuke didn't buy the bullshit. In fact, he just punched his finger, breaking it, which sends his hand flying at the rock, breaking off pieces of it. And with its ability, it repairs the rock, and it's now melded onto his hand. Yeah, his hand was fused inside the rock. Now, Josuke didn't plan to kill Angelo, let alone send him back to prison, saying, "Repent for eternity, Angelo, for all of those you killed, including my gramps." Summons Crazy Diamond, and we get our first official Crazy Diamond beatdown, which was awesome because Crazy Diamond beats the crap out of Angelo, and with its ability, fuses Angelo with the rock. Angelo is now a freaking rock. Holy shit. Oh, no, there's more, people, there's more. Angelo, now as a rock, is now a landmark in Morio. It's now called the Angelo Stone and is a place where lovers would meet for dates. And people would admire said rock even though it looked creepy. Oh my god. Angelo is not only a rock, but is now a landmark in Morio. Holy shit, I was not expecting that. And you know what, come to think of it, he kind of sort of got the Cars treatment. We're only on episode 2, people. We're only on episode 2. And Angelo is a minor antagonist. Imagine like what the other minor antagonists are gonna be like, let alone what are gonna happen to them. I mean, oh my god. You're gonna live forever in the city my gramps protected. He walks away, Jotaro saying yada yada daze, and done. That's it. That's it from Angelo. Wow, what an episode. So yeah, overall, I really liked this episode. It was entertaining, it was very enjoyable. The fight was actually surprisingly well done. Aqua Necklace as a stand was pretty dangerous, and again, a stand is very effective depending on how you use it, and Angelo used it very well. As for Angelo as a character, he is a really fucked up serial killer, like I swear. He only does these crimes because it's fun. In fact, they even went into detail about the latest crime that he committed, which I was surprised because they left that out in last week's episode. And they actually like had a flashback of that as well. The flashback sequence was actually very well done because it happens in between moments when Tomoko was talking to Angelo as the milkman. Animation and artwork, again, was really well done. It was really good, especially like the colors and the animation used in the fight sequences. And of course the music was really well done, especially with the scene when Ryohei dies. Now, I gotta be honest here, Ryohei's death was sad, but I kind of felt more sorry for Josuke. I can understand why Ryohei did die because we needed more of a reason for Josuke to like protect this town, to investigate more on the stand users and help protect the people and of course his mom. And that death was actually his stepping stone, his reason. So we needed that, I understand. But I still felt bad for Ryohei, and unfortunately I didn't get all that sad over it. I mean, it was sad, it's just not enough for me to like cry over it. But at least the OST soundtrack used and that scene made it more emotional. And Ryohei as a supporting character, he didn't appear appear a lot in this series. In fact, he only appeared briefly in episode 1 and here in episode 2. But again, how David's production handled the death was really well done. There's actually 2 scenes I have to talk about. The first scene was when Josuke was like playing a video game while waiting for Jotaro to arrive. He was playing Oh, That's a Baseball. The same game that Jotaro played against Darby the Player in Stardust Crusaders, which I thought was actually a really nice touch. Not only that, but if you look closely at the players, they're Crazy Diamonds. All of them were Crazy Diamonds, which I thought was really funny. Also, he was playing apparently on a Nintendo 64, which really brought back the 90s nostalgia for me. So yeah, kudos Dave's production for that. The other scene I want to talk about is like the conversation between Josuke and Jotaro inside their house. In this one brief glimpse, like when Jotaro mentioned the name Angelo, Josuke was so pissed, despite himself being calm, saying that he was calm, he was so pissed that his hair got all spiky. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, that was weird. But later on in the scene, you get to see his furniture being all like altered in a way. I guess he was like so angry that he like vented his frustration out on his furniture, and his healing ability only works if he's like calm. Otherwise, if he's like angry, very, very emotional, the objects or the person won't revert back 100% to its original form. Josuke as a character, I'm starting to like more and more. I especially gained some respect for him after that resolve that he gained for protecting his town and his mom in place of his grandfather. And not only that, but he's very resourceful, smart, and cunning, coming up with backup plans just in case something goes wrong. And not to mention his stand is freaking awesome. I especially like how he uses it. It's really cool, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of Crazy Diamond. As for Jotaro, it was cool seeing him using Star Platinum again. I was actually wondering if we're ever gonna have like a Jotaro fight for like one last time. Maybe have another Star Platinum Ora beatdown for at least, you know, for old time's sake, but we'll just have to find out until the episodes later on, I guess. And voice acting was really well done, not only courtesy of Daisuke Ono and Yuki Ono, but also from the supporting characters. Now, Tomoko is voiced by Megumi Toyoguchi, who, fun fact, voiced Nena in the Stardust Crusaders OVAs. And she also voiced Revi from Black Lagoon and Winry from Fullmetal Alchemist. As for Ryohei, he's voiced by Katsuhisa Hoki, who voiced Bartley Asperius from Code Geass, Rihaku from the Hokuto no Ken Rao Gaiden and the Uriaden, and he's the second voice actor for Jinbei from One Piece. And then we have the voice actor for Angelo, who did a really good job, and he's Kenji Hamada, who voiced Nobuhiro Mashiro from the Bakuman anime series, Teppei Kiyoshi from the Kuroko no Basket anime series, Hyoin Maru from the Zanpakuto filler arc in Bleach, and he also voices Sasuke's dad and Shino's dad in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. As if Sasuke's life wasn't fucked up as it is already. So yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the episode. It was very entertaining and enjoyable. I'm looking forward to more bizarre stuff that's gonna happen in Morio, and Angelo's defeat was really surprising to me. Now, the opening and the ending. The opening, we knew that the song was gonna be called Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town by the DU, and hearing it, it's actually a very nice song. It's more upbeat, it's more funky, it's very catchy. And as for the visuals itself, the animation, they didn't use the 3D CGI animation that they usually do from the previous openings. No, it's just actual animation, which was really surprising. The song itself was good, but visually was actually not bad. I mean, I know some people might either hate or like the opening. Me personally, I actually kind of like this opening. Do I think it's better than the previous one? You know, I don't know. But I still liked it either way. I actually like the use of colors and the animation in the opening. And I gotta admit, the scene where the supporting characters and even the main character himself dancing was actually pretty funny and kind of cute. Jotaro was the only one that wasn't dancing. I wish he was, because it would be so hilarious to see that, but then again, that would be completely out of character, you know? And then the ending. The ending is actually the one I like more than the opening, because the ending song was really nice, and visually, the animation in the ending sequence was like really well done. It was like a lot more psychedelic, and I think they used some of Araki's previous cover pages, I believe, from the Diamond is Unbreakable manga. I'm not sure, but the song they chose was "I Want You" by Savage Garden. I was not expecting Savage Garden really, because the last song I heard from them was Truly Madly Deeply. But honestly, it was really nice. Opening songs and ending songs were really good. Visually, I prefer the ending song over the opening, but the opening, I still probably have to get used to it, but I still like the opening. So yeah, tell me guys, what did you think of this week's episode of Diamond is Unbreakable? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you think of Angelo and how he used to stand Aqua Necklace? And what did you think of like Josuke and Jotaro during that situation? Also, what did you think of the opening and the ending? And how did you feel when Ryohei died? Honestly, as a supporting character, I didn't get all like too choked up over it. It was sad, but how they handled the death was like really well done. And I'm really looking forward to more of Diamond is Unbreakable. So as always, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like the video if you like it, and subscribe to more videos, and be sure to check out my Facebook fan page and Google+. So with that being said, I'm your Spout27, and until next week on the next JoJo Friday, I'll see you guys next time. Later.